This is Pod Populi, podcast for the people.
Hello again. Hey there. It's Crystal Blackwell here, your podcast host, hosting Crystal Clear Moments today. I have Donna Taylor. So let me tell you really quick. Donna and I both are podcast hosts, and we met in the studio. We both were like, I want to be on your podcast. So I was like, well, absolutely. But I think you will find her topic fascinating for all, genders, all alike, all ages. And I think it's a topic that people are talking about, behind closed doors, especially, I think, women. So, fellas, don't tap out on me. I want you to tap into this podcast as well. But yeah, I think this is one that I think the women can lean into. So let's talk about Donna. Let's learn about Donna. Donna's the founder, instructor, and host of Golf Party Live. Girl, I love that. Golf Party Live. I mean, who does not want to be part of that? Which attracts Crystal, active women who want to get involved in golf. And we're going to talk about golf. Yes, I have golf clubs. Yes, my whole family golfs. So this is kind of a self-serving podcast for me. Maybe she can give me some golf therapy so I can get out there on the links and do my thing. But she started her golf journey in San Francisco Bay Area. She was competitive. Guess what? Her father played on the PGA Golf Tour. And we'll learn about Mr. Dan a little later, but we'll learn just how she got her crystal clear moments and how it evolved to her passion. Let me tell you, if you can't see this, her face is lit up. She absolutely loves golf. She literally told me before we started that I wish I was on the course right now. Not that she didn't want to be with me, but I get the love. I get the passion. I appreciate it. Donna was a junior All-American and played for full ride. Wow, that's awesome. At U of A, Wildcat girl.
That's right.
Played golf there. Yeah, I think that's amazing. And she is a wife of RT. Sorry about that. Mom for two. You have two boys, Carson and Taylor. You have fur babies. You have 3 fur babies?
I have 3 now. Yes.
Look at you.
Yeah, I
That's
adopted
a lot.
one from my golf student.
Wow.
Yes, bought one. Yep.
That's amazing because I literally just told my mom today on the phone that I don't want a pet. She said, why? I go, Mom, I was babysitting and just the whole, I feel like I'm back with a toddler.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just became an empty nester. So I gotta get that out of me first, right? But we gotta talk about these.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, lot of work. Great. She's actually a stepmom to Brittany and Boo and Ryan. And then we want to wrap up that golf is her greatest passion. I don't think I've ever had a guest tell me that their greatest, that what we're talking about, their topic, like golf is her greatest passion. So Donna, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I'm very excited to be here.
Yes,
I respect your show, and
thank you.
It's an honor to be here today with you.
You bet. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So my question to you is, since golf is your greatest passion, what was your crystal clear moment that ignited that flame of passion inside of you?
Well, it's quite a long journey that I've been on with golf. I started golf at the age of 7, and I literally do not remember ever golf not being a part of my life. It's always been there. And so I played my entire life. So my crystal clear moments actually came later in life because I just took for granted that this is just me, and this is that I have a skill, and that I am very blessed to be born into the golf industry, and the things that I know are valuable to other people. And I never saw that before 2022, honestly. And I'm 53 years old. So my crystal clear moments came at 51 that I really appreciated everything about golf starting then.
I think that's what we have in common. My crystal clear moments for me and my passion came later in life.
Yeah.
But don't you find that everything that led up to it positioned you to walk into it at the time, date, and space you're supposed to?
Like the perfect timing.
Yeah. Like you couldn't have done it differently.
Right.
But see, you started at 7, and like you said, for you it was just, what is. It was just something that you did and that you enjoyed
and learning. Yeah. So learning how to play, making connections and seeing how golf influences like a junior golfer. Those were some of my best years of my life. Just having fun with other players, going to different golf courses, learning that etiquette. And golf is a lot about character. You know, you don't cheat. You say
Integrity.
yes, please. Integrity. I mean, it's huge for kids. So I think my junior golf days were about just learning the game. And I worked for my dad in the Bay Area at his golf course from the age of 8 years old. And I learned how to basically do everything in the golf industry. Wow. And it was super fun.
So let's talk about that. So you were working with your dad on the golf course. Excuse me. And of all the duties, what was your least favorite?
Oh my gosh. You know, I honestly think just waking up in the morning was the hardest thing for me because they start at sunrise.
Yes.
And so I would have to be out there, and I loved every aspect of working out there, even working the range, which is considered outside service. That's hard work, you know, picking up range balls and lugging things around, but it's just you're outside, you're on the grass. So I think honestly, it's just the early morning that I struggle with because I'm not a morning person.
Right. Okay.
I've been hoping. My mom told me that when she turned 40, she wasn't a morning person. She said all of a sudden a switch went off and she was now a morning person. So when I turned 40, I thought, okay, well, when is this going to be happening? And I'm still waiting for it, and it hasn't happened.
Still hasn't happened. You just may
I don't
be
think
a
it's
night
happening.
owl forever. See, I'm the other way around. I'm a morning person, and I just recently started saying I'm tired of getting up early.
Yeah.
Like in the last couple of weeks, I've been like, I'm tired of this. So I may be shifting to a later person, so then I can give you some of my morning glory.
Right? That would be
so
great. I'd take
we
it.
could do it, so you can get out there on the course early. Like, well, even when you play, you probably go out early, and I'm sure in the summers, because the summers here are brutal.
Yeah, very
so you
hot.
probably get out there. So let's talk about golf and the love of golf. So you grew up playing golf. I feel what, you're second generation golfer in your family, or is it third generation? I mean, I feel like it's just part of your family culture.
And no one's ever asked me that, but I guess I'm third generation because my mom's mom, so my maternal grandmother, was an amazing golfer.
Look at that.
She won a club championship 10 years in a row at Green Valley Country Club. She competed all over the East Coast and has all these trophies. She was an amazing amateur player and really competitive. So she was at Green Valley Country Club. And then my dad was this hotshot golfer, and my grandmother and my dad would play golf together. And then it's like, oh, well, I have a daughter. And then my parents met.
That's amazing.
Yes. So I have it on my dad's side through my dad, and then my mom's side as well.
Yeah.
So I would be third generation.
Yes, that's third.
Yeah.
And what's really cool about that is that your grandmother. So we're talking about a time when women probably didn't, the culture is different. So she probably should have been home making cookies, and she was out on the course beating men and winning. And
that is an entire subject, Crystal, because she had 4 kids and they didn't really have birth control then. So she's having 4 kids, which honestly, I truly believe that, and I love, obviously my mom was the second born, and I love my uncles. She has 3 brothers and then her. I think my Nana would have been fine having 0 to 1 kid, just because she had aspirations, and she was born in 1923, and she was like, I want my own life. I want to play golf. I want to be on the golf course. And she really was more of like a modern day woman. I have a lot of respect for her. And my mom was definitely like a mommy type. And so when her brother was born, I think my mom was 14. My Nana came home from the hospital and apparently handed him to my mom and like, here you go.
Here you go.
So I was my mom's firstborn, but really I was like her second because she raised her youngest brother.
So Nana was an athlete.
Very much.
And of a time, we're talking, she was born during the roaring 20s when, even though that was a spicy era for women, we still had boundaries very tight, rules, regulations, and still very stereotypical roles. So she broke through some barriers. What are some lessons you learned from her, other than that she's this dynamic golfer. She's competitive. You
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah.
What other things you've learned from her?
Well, I have a lot of respect for her. She was a little, I think it's her generation, maybe a little cold, not a lot of I love you, to my mom growing up, but I just think that's the generation.
I agree.
She was really cool to me.
Yeah.
Very determined woman. She died when she was 89 because she never had a colonoscopy. If she would have had a colonoscopy at 70, listening out there, she would likely have lived to be 100 because she was very healthy. But she traveled with her friends up until the day she died. She'd do cruises. She would take water aerobics.
Yeah.
So just keeping her body moving. She got divorced when I think that people weren't getting divorced because she wasn't happy. And she just did what she thought was best for her.
Yes.
Filling her own cup up. And I just respect her strength. Like you said, just especially because she was ahead of the curve.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about how you inherited some of those traits. I do believe a lot of these things are inherited, especially for women. I agree with you. I had a grandmother who I felt as a modern thinker. She was, I'm the youngest of a larger family. So she was born at the turn of the century when women didn't wear red lipstick. Or pantsuits. And when men went off to war, she worked in the plants as a supervisor. Women weren't leaders.
Yeah.
And she liked it, and she never remarried when she was a widow, and she didn't want to marry, and she stayed a widow, and she was attractive, and she kept herself up, and she lived she lived to be 105.
Wow.
And the tip she left was keep moving and drink water.
Yeah.
We have our
there
water.
we go.
Yeah, we have our water here.
I love learning from ancestors.
Me too.
It's
Me
like such a wonderful way to learn because even if you don't agree with it, maybe you'll take a nugget away and it can improve your life.
And I think it gives you some insight of who you are. Like you sharing about your grandmother was giving me insight of who you are because she actually introduced that into your family in terms of a gender space.
Yeah.
Like that to you. And even your dad probably was like, well, everyone's going to golf. My daughter's going to golf because my mother-in-law golfs. Like it, she introduced that when, people are still struggling with typical masculine roles.
Yeah.
Women doing well, not just doing, but flourishing, doing well, competitive, winning in it. So I feel like, you've gotten some of that from your Nana, which is pretty amazing.
I will tell you, my dad gave me a lot of that as well. That I've heard that girls get their confidence from their dads. And literally there is nothing he thinks that I can do anything. He thinks that I'm smarter than I am. He thinks that I'm better than I am. And he just really puts me up on a pedestal. And I just think that he's given me that confidence that I can do anything.
That's wonderful.
And golf is very much, it's in a transition where since 2020, there's been 800,000 women who have entered golf since 2020.
Why do you think that, Donna? Why do you think that?
I think that the pandemic was a huge driver to that golf actually was kind of dying. And a lot of people before 2020 were older people who were retired and it takes a lot of time. And if you're in the middle of raising kids, like you just don't have the time to do that. And so when our state was pretty much closed down, golf was not. And a lot of other states, golf was not closed down. So people could get outside, they could play golf.
And people did.
They did.
I did even.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to get out with people.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I think also Top Golf has brought out like a really fun aspect of golf that it doesn't have to be so serious. So I just really feel like golf was dying and it just revitalized through the pandemic. So it's just incredible to see what's happened with just the demand of it and women entering. But prior to that, it's a good old boys club. So I literally was raised around guys on the golf course. I played on the high school golf team and it was a golf team. It wasn't a boys team or a girls team. My freshman year, there were 2 other girls who were basically in our junior golf program. Then one graduated. So my sophomore year, there were 2 of us. My junior year, it was just me and all boys. Yeah. So I really think that my dad gave me that confidence that it doesn't matter who you're playing with. You can beat these guys. And I did beat a lot of them.
So talk to me about, because you hear it, golf is it's a mental game.
Very
It's
much.
about your mindset. It's about either a growth mindset or a fix. It's about your mindset.
Yep.
So tell me, was introduced to it when you were, young, 7 years old, and you went through your early years in high school and college, and now you're doing it as your life's passion. Talk to me about the mindset of a golfer. Because let me tell you, my husband, when he's not doing well, I see a whole different person come out.
I know.
He says words. I'm like, don't say that about yourself.
Yeah.
Like it's to me. And I'm still like chipper and smiling. And he's like, you're not serious yet.
Yeah.
He's like looking at me like, you're not there yet. So tell me about the mindset, because there's golf psychologists now. It's a thing.
Yes. I had Shawnee Harley on my podcast, which is Talk Birdie to Me, and she is a mental strength coach, and she works with regular athletes, but also high level athletes, all on mindset. So it's a definitely a legit thing. And I've taken what I've learned from golf, which I'll kind of talk about what I think about that mindset.
Yeah.
And I'm a also a master level yoga teacher. And I basically am all in golf, except for I've kept one team. I work with Higley football, and I work with these boys, their varsity team, which we have an incredible football program. Once a week, all throughout the year, taking off the summer and then the holidays. And I've taken all my mental strength and I feed it to them. So I do injury prevention with them, and then I do mental strength. So I really think that the golf, it is one of the most mental games ever.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of time. There's a lot of time to think about before you play, like, oh my gosh, I feel nervous, or what am I?
So how do you manage that?
Yeah,
that part.
So you really, and this is where like the yogas come in, that you really have to be present. So our minds are constantly thinking, and there's a lot of different ways, but you really want to think about what you're trying to do. That's one of the main strategies, is to think about, what am I trying to do on the shot? I'm trying to hit it here. I'm trying to, and maybe focusing on something you're working on in your swing. So then your mind can't think of anything else, because basically what messes people up is getting behind or forward. So thinking behind, like, man, I'm really mad that I messed that hole up.
Okay.
So
the past.
Yeah. You're so mad at yourself because you just had the worst hole ever, and you may look at that as messing up your entire round.
Okay.
Or other people can look forward and think, oh my gosh, if I don't do this and this, then I'm not going to shoot the score. And so they're looking back or forward, which nothing serves you except for what you do in this very moment.
In the present.
Yeah. Even like we're podcasting and we're really in the moment. But if I start to think about what you're going to ask me in 5 minutes, it's like, I'm not going to be here with you.
Right.
And so with golf, it's the same thing, that you just really have to be present. And I, teach golf. I play golf for fun with my husband and my mom and dad. But I also, a couple times a year, I do compete. And it's just a different animal, that I have to actually take all these things that I teach to other people and really take my own advice. And it's not easy at all.
Okay.
But it's really staying present.
Yeah, I love it. So staying present. So what other tip would you give someone to really strengthen their mindset during golf, or just in golf, just in general? Because, I hear people and I'm around a lot of golfers too.
Yeah.
And you hear, I got in my head.
Yeah.
Or I need to get out of my head, and I hear that a lot. And I'm really good about just naturally being present.
Yeah.
And I never thought about transferring that skill, right? Because I think that's a skill you have to practice.
It is a skill, yes.
And to golf, I've never thought about it. I'm probably a better golfer. I've never thought about it.
Yeah.
So we have be present. What else would you say? Really, another tip?
Okay, this is a big one, and I see it a lot with ladies.
Okay.
Is that we as women, I think we're hardest on ourselves. Okay. So we would say, like, I hear my mom do this all the time. She's a really good golfer. Oh, that was so stupid of me, or, I'm horrible at this. You can't talk to yourself like that.
Yeah, bad self-talk.
Right.
Yeah.
So just focusing on the positive. Yeah. So if you hit a bad shot, we all as human beings, whether we do this for a living professionally, which I don't. I play golf for fun. I teach golf for a living, but I'm not a professional golfer. I'm a golf pro. Big difference. So we are all going to hit bad shots, and that doesn't have a reflection on who we are. It's just we're playing this game, and it's an imperfect game. And if it's my perfectionists that have a really hard time, and I kind of have been working on not being a perfectionist. Hey, I'm going to hit a bad shot, but I can overcome that. And I'm just, what am I going to do next?
Yeah. So it's that self-talk.
It's a big deal. And you can see how people, and I've said this to my students before, you're being really hard on yourself. With people who are hard on themselves on the golf course, typically their parent was hard on them.
Okay.
So there might be some undoing that has to happen. And I really feel like that's one of my strengths.
I knew there was psychology to that. I really did.
Big time.
I did, because even the golfers that I know, just the way they navigate their games, and I or either maybe not even their parents are hard on, they're just so hard on themselves. They have an expectation that's unrealistic. And then you see some that really can kind of shake it off, like, okay, next shot.
Yeah.
I mean, give it a go.
And that's what it really needs to be. It needs to be next shot. Another great thing is to just really like visualize what you want to happen, and in golf that, you see people stand behind their ball and just kind of, they're kind of looking, this is what they should be doing, looking, where do I want to aim this? What flight do I want for the ball? And just trying to get into the shot. Because then again, your mind isn't going, oh my gosh, there's water over there. Or last time I hit it in this bunker. And so that's where the mind can go. It can go down a rabbit hole.
Or it keeps going left.
Yeah. And here's the thing. This is the one thing my dad taught me about mental strength. The other things Shawnee Harley has taught me is that if you say, don't go left, that's exactly, your brain doesn't hear not, no, don't. It
Left.
Yes, it hears left. So it's really important when you are doing anything in life, you don't want to say not and don't. You want to focus on what you want instead of what you don't want. If you focus on what you don't want, you're going to get that.
So give me an example, verbalize that.
Okay. So for golf, there's water on the right, all along the right side. And I say, I don't want to go right. That's where my ball's going to go. So instead I would say, keep the ball left. So my brain is hearing left, and that's where I want to go.
Okay, good.
Yes.
That's a good example.
Yeah. And, I play out at Seville Golf and Country Club in Gilbert. We have an island hole, and it's a challenging hole, especially for ladies who are new, because you have to loft the ball up, have it drop on the island and keep it there. So a lot of people just think, oh, don't hit it in the water, or they'll be looking at water. So for me, I say, I just want to hit it in the middle of the green, because then I have room back, room forward. I'm good to go. And so I just focus on hitting it in the middle of the green.
Just get there.
Yeah. Just get there.
Just get there.
Hit enough club. I got this. So just trying to be really positive with yourself. It's very important. Your energy, what you bring, it really matters in golf, because there's so much time. There's time to think. You're walking to the shot. You're talking with people. And if you just, it's incredible how much it plays into it. And I still work on it. I still think about, okay, what am I going to do to just really be in the moment?
Good. So we're going to take a moment for an ad break. So, Donna, thank you for those tips. I'm going to practice those tips. I hope everyone, my podcaster listeners, I know I have golfers out there. And again, these are for women and men and new golfers and experienced golfers.
Definitely.
So is there anything else you could share with us you think would be a good tip? We have be present and self-talk, what you say is going to happen, what you believe. If you're going to go left, then your ball's going to go left. So speak your truth, speak what you want to manifest.
Exactly.
So anything else?
And then just visualizing what you want. And then I would really say that practice is really important. Okay. And that seems pretty standard, but that will really bring confidence. So if you are unconfident or you're just unsure, then just get out there and hit those shots you're unsure about and just kind of work it out. Maybe take a lesson, maybe don't. I mean, if you could work it out on your own, but to just get over your fear or whatever's going on, that if you just get out and practice what you're worried about, then you'll feel better about it and feel more confident.
And practice looks like the golf range, like you said, maybe getting get some golf lessons.
Yeah. Or, there's practice facilities. So for example, if you go to any public course, I teach golf out at Greenfield Lakes and at Cocopelli, both are in Gilbert. And both of those places have range balls, so you can hit balls. And then they have practice putting greens and also where you can chip. So wherever your deficiencies are, you can go in and just practice what you're struggling with. And if you need a lesson here and there from a golf coach to just give you a nugget so you have something that you are working towards and practicing. Golf is a game that no matter who you are, you should have a coach who gives you something that you work on. I mean, I probably only take one lesson a year now, but I used to take weekly lessons throughout, I would say for 20 years.
Wow.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
And it's fun to work on things, especially as you get older.
Is golf something you can pick up at any age? Is that something you can?
You can pick up golf at any age, but the earlier you start, the easier. When I was teaching golf in the Bay Area, I started instructing when I was about 18, 19 years old. And I would have mothers and their kids, so either a son or a daughter. And it was really obvious to me very early on that you tell these kids, do this, and they do it. Like, it's just so easy for kids to pick things up. And then the mom is struggling and feeling like she's horrible. It's like, no, it's just harder.
Yeah.
A good example is I had a friend who was a professional golfer. And back in the day, I believe it was 2007, she won a big LPGA tournament. And we got to go to Canyon Ranch in Tucson, this awesome wellness place. And there were 4 of us that went. And my friend did not know how to swim. And she said, I want to go to Canyon Ranch and I want to learn how to swim. So I'm like, okay, well, this is pretty cool. Here, she's a professional athlete and won this golf tournament. But she doesn't know how to swim. And in the tournament that she won, you're supposed to jump into this lake.
Oh,
okay.
We've got to get her swimming.
Right. Okay. So I said, I'm going to watch this swimming lesson. So I'm watching her learn to swim and it's unbelievable. All the things that we naturally do swimming.
As swimmers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kick your feet, move your arms, breathe, blow bubbles, turn your head to the side. And I'm watching it thinking, oh my gosh, this is kind of like golf for me. That I just do all these things because I've been doing them so long. And so if you can, like if you have a child, if you're listening out there and you have a child who's, 5 to 10 years old and maybe they're not interested in golf, but maybe you give them, get them some lessons that are very inexpensive. They have a lot of great junior golf programs that cost barely anything. If they learn their foundations at that age and they never pick up a golf club until they're 40 or 50 years old, they will be better off than someone who's just starting at that age.
That's good to know.
Yeah, really good.
Really good you said something that was, I thought was pretty powerful, how you watched your friend learn how to swim and all the pieces that I'm a swimmer. I've been swimming. I can't remember not swimming. So for me, I can't think of how to teach someone. It just comes natural. It sounds like you're the same way. But you watched your friend learn how to swim and all the parts that she had the skills she had to learn and how to put them together and to build her confidence. And like you said, blow bubbles and turn your head and kick your feet. And then there's backstrokes, different ways of swimming.
Right.
How was that a crystal clear moment for you? How that translated to how people are learning how to golf for the first time? Did it impact the way you taught or gave you maybe some empathy? Like, oh, wow, this is really going to be for some people really breaking it down. Like could be really difficult for you.
Yeah. I think that moment just made me see that because I wasn't really playing much golf. I've had a lot of moments in my life where I think that's about when I started into yoga and I wasn't really playing much golf, but I think seeing her learn to swim now, when I look back on that, that I do relate it to the ladies and just how I've had to really step back. And I mean, these ladies ask me all sorts of questions that I can't believe that anyone would ask that question because I was raised with this. So I feel like my skill is getting better and better because I'll bring things up that I wouldn't have brought up before because I wouldn't think anyone would need to know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and it keeps happening. I mean, there's all sorts of questions people ask me. And honestly, the biggest thing for me is I have to just not give a look like, are you kidding me? Because I don't want anyone to feel bad about these questions because if they have this question, there's going to be a lot of other people who have that same question.
Right. I bet. So what's the one question that made you go, oh my, this is like really made you say, wow.
Yeah. So I had two that really come to mind that, the head of a golf club, an iron, is referred to kind of like a foot. Okay. So the bottom is the sole, the outside is the toe, and the inside by where the shaft goes up is the heel. And up at the top, someone said, which line do you line up to aim straight? And the top one is just irrelevant. I mean, that is something that I wouldn't think anyone.
It's the top.
Yeah.
How do you do? I mean, you can't even do it.
Yeah. And it's the soul. So I now incorporate that into my teaching. And then just recently I had a gal ask me, we were playing in a golf tournament, and it's just a fun little monthly thing that we do. And I had said, okay, does everyone know what a scramble is? Okay. And most people who are brand new to golf, almost everybody knows what a scramble is.
I know what a scramble is.
Right.
Look, I'm all proud.
Right.
I know what a scramble is.
Yeah. And so she said to me, I've been playing golf a while, but I've never played in a scramble, which is very unusual.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So she said, let me ask you, does everybody tee off at the same time? Like we all line up on the tee box and we tee off like basically like together. And I said, like, yeah, the look on your face. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
I got a visual, and it's just like, yeah.
And so, and I don't want her to feel bad about asking that
Absolutely.
question.
Absolutely.
So I said, no, everyone just tees off one person and then the next person, just kind of like normal golf. And then you guys will grab the shot that's the best.
Right.
And then she said,
Go from
okay, well, when we're out there in the fairway, do we then line up? And we all hit at the same time, right?
She wants to line up.
Well, but the reason why is she said, well, how will we know where the ball is? And I said, oh, okay. You put a tee down.
That's
and
the
then,
problem we need to solve. Like that was really her issue.
Yeah.
Like,
where would I go? And so, and those are the kind of things that now I realize that someone could wonder that.
Right.
And so I need to be very, like, as when you start groups, normally you'll just say, if it's a seasoned group, like your husband, you said plays, you would say, it's a scramble. This is, you're playing this, men play these tees, ladies play these tees. That's all you do as a starter. With my group, it takes about 5 minutes because I have to say, okay, you guys are playing in a scramble. You're going to hit one person at a time. Now I say
I
that.
definitely need to come to you.
Yeah. And you just break it down for them. And I always tell them, you just need to show yourself grace.
Right.
You guys are new. You're not going to be good at this game, but you're going to have fun. That's what it's about. Golf is about fun and creating memories and having a great time being outside.
But also, Donna, what you're doing, you're empowering women. You really are empowering them to learn a new skill, to build their confidence. They're working a muscle for the most part they've never worked before.
Yep.
And they feel safe to work that with you. It's the reason why they're there. Everyone has their own reasons why they're showing up.
Yeah.
So what is it? Do you feel like you're empowering women?
Very much. And I think what I feel most proud of is just creating community, because that's really what people voice to me. They call me a connector. Like I get this one gal, Lisa Funk, she sends me cards all the time at how golf has changed her life and she fell in love with it again, and how it's just amazing what I've brought to the community. And so to just keep hearing these things, I think that's my proudest thing. And when I was on the range this weekend, I got to play golf Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I play with my husband and my mom plays. This man out of nowhere walks up, and he was a guest of a member. And he's like, Donna, hi. He's like, I see what you're doing. And I've been a golf instructor for 30 years. And he said, it's amazing what you're doing. He's like, it just is incredible to be recognized by someone in the industry. And he said something very profound to me. He said, golf instructors, number one, like don't want to work with this demographic, not because they're women. It's because beginners are really challenging to work with. I love working with beginners.
Wow,
they know
that's a
nothing,
gift.
and I see them have such improvement. And I'm passionate about introducing the game to someone and having them be involved in golf where it changes their life, whether their career, their relationship with their spouse, they've created more friends. They feel more like a part of something. I mean, it's incredible. And then he also said that the group that I would be working with aren't going to be women that are going to seek out one-on-ones with a male golf instructor where they're going to feel comfortable. And that I've created an environment where they can come in and, like you voiced to me earlier that you have all the things, the cute clothes.
All the things,
Yeah,
Donna.
you're ready to go.
Right.
And these ladies very much are into what they're going to wear. You know, they're super excited to wear golf clothes and pick out their cute golf bag.
Absolutely. Hats, all that. Yeah.
And I'm kind of that same girl. So I think like attracts like, where I want to wear really cute clothes on the golf course, and I have a cute golf bag, and we like to have fun, and that's what golf is for me. So when he said that to me, I just shake my head at it and think, this is so incredible that this is my life. I feel so blessed and honored to be sitting in this seat of like leader of like ladies golf.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful, because, you know, when you're talking about it, your face lights up, and I know what it feels like to be in purpose, and it warms you. Like your soul is warm when you're doing it. And even though it's work, it's not. And people say that. I know it's cliche, but it's real.
It's really real.
That's a real statement. When you're doing it, of course it's work. There's strategy. There's a business model. You have all of that. We get it. But when you're out there actually doing it, it feels so good. So we're talking about golf. It's Golf Party Live.
Yeah. So Golf Party Live is my business.
Okay.
And then the podcast happened because someone told me that they thought I should do it.
Yes.
And I thought, I'm just going to do it for a year. And I don't really know what it's going to be about. And I asked my community, my closest friends within my golf community, what a good podcast name would be. And so we named it Talk Birdie to Me. And it's just
so cute,
kind of a fun thing. And I love doing the podcast. It's and I love being a guest on your podcast where I'm not running the show. I just get to sit back and have a conversation. Yeah.
So tell me about your podcast. So whether someone wants to like search it and like listen to it, what can they expect?
We serve beginner lady golfers. And I think that that's very unique because most golf related podcasts are either super silly, where they're just talking about, you know, being a golf widow is what it's called, where the guys are golfing all the time and they're just stuck at home. So that's called a golf widow.
Right. Yeah.
So there could be that type of podcast. Or there is a podcast where it's super technical. You know, there's a wonderful podcast on mindset that is just these 30-minute episodes that I love, and I listen to that. Or really technical things for more advanced players. So for our group, I just love what we're bringing to them, where we bring in a very fun way. My co-host is my stepdaughter, Brittany Boo. And we have a dynamic chemistry together. It's wonderful.
Very nice.
And we talk about all things, like how do you get involved in golf? You know, the common issues in swings. We're going to drop one on traveling for golf. Like, how do you travel for golf? Like these
a big
ladies.
deal. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, my very first golf retreat, because I do golf retreats, I had to tell the ladies, you know, that you need to put your golf bag in a carry bag.
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
Bag. Yeah.
They didn't know.
Yeah.
So I have to.
I only know that because whenever we travel, his clubs come.
Right.
Like it doesn't matter. We can go back to our hometown.
Yes.
The clubs go.
They have to go.
I know all that.
Yeah. So I just try and cover everything that people are asking. And there's a Facebook group that has, I believe, like seriously, 90,000 followers. And it's all for beginner ladies. And so it actually has given me a lot of inspiration where I'm looking at what the questions they have.
Right.
So I'm seeing these repetitive questions, and we have shifted our focus on the podcast to be more Brittany Boo and I are covering these topics. And then we'll have our own golf community come in. If it's on fashion, I'll have a friend come in and talk about fashion, or we talk about travel, someone who loves to travel for golf. And so we have less guests and more like I'm the expert in the industry, and Brittany Boo's only been playing golf 2 years. So she really is that demographic. And I just love having that be a value add.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Equipment.
And a great compliment to what you're already doing, actually.
Right.
A very good compliment. So I just want to encourage anyone who has just the slight bit of interest in golf to download your podcast and take a listen. Because even if you're not interested, chances are you know someone who is, because it is that darn popular.
Yeah.
You know, everyone knows someone, you know, at all ages, you know, and like you said, people are starting out smaller, younger. My mentee just bought a house, and they have a putting green in the back, and they don't golf. But now they're like, maybe maybe we should take some lessons. I
Right.
have a huge putting green in my backyard now that I could use. So,
Yeah.
it's everywhere, especially if you live in a warm state.
Right.
It seems like we hike, we golf.
Right.
And
there's a lot of people moving here, and I will ask people, because I'm very interested on why people are wanting to start golf. And it's just very interesting why they do. But a lot of people are recently moved here, and they feel that when they move to Arizona, they have to play golf. Like it's just kind of a prerequisite for living here. And so they need to learn. And people are,
people do that.
yeah.
I
I mean,
agree
it's
with you.
just
I've
really
heard that.
interesting when I hear that.
And if so what is this about? Is there a heart part of this equation? We talked about the head space.
Yeah.
Is there a heart to this too? Is this where does the love come from?
For me,
Yeah, just from you. Where does the love for golf?
so I think that golf has given me everything good in my life. And that's like a really amazing thing. Like due to like a great childhood, where I was playing golf and I never got in trouble,
Yeah.
because I'm playing golf.
Yeah.
Playing golf with my dad constantly, working at the golf shop, like super happy childhood that I'm so blessed for. Cause I know that not everyone has happy childhood. So
Right.
very grateful for that. And just having it be me being able to, as a college student, teach golf and make $50 an hour teaching golf. And little did I know that all of that experience would lead me to where I'm at. But I met my husband on the golf course.
Yeah, wow.
Just, I mean, everything good has come to me through golf. Just
beautiful.
incredible.
So it definitely is a heart love. There is a love there for it. We talked about the head, but the heart. Do you think the heart and the head has to connect to be a good golfer? Do you think you have to have both?
I think that
To have
you
an
have
interest?
I do think that you have to love golf because it can be very challenging where people say it's a love-hate relationship where you can say one day, I hate golf. I never want to play it again. And then you hit a good shot and you're like, oh my gosh, I love this game.
Yes,
So
I've heard that.
yeah. So if you don't love it, I think it's hard to stick with it. So you have to find what you do love about it. We have a lot of ladies who, this one gal who I had on my podcast, Michelle Carlson, she made 30 friends in the last year and good friends. And it's like, how are you in your 50s and you make 30 friends? Wow. It's very hard to meet people
Yes, it is.
and have that time. So I think for a lot of my ladies, their heart is like, this is wonderful that I have all these friends and that I feel a place of belonging.
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
Yeah, it is a big thing. And you said something really key, and I the whole belonging thing, I think it's got stretched out of proportion and redefined and whatever, but it's real. Like
It is.
it's a thing. Like if you feel like you're part of something
Yep.
and they see you and they hear you and they respect you, that's where the heart comes in. That's
Yeah.
where the Michelle is 30, who has 30 friends in her 50s new
Yeah,
that
right.
are really like your whole new tribe
Yeah.
that you have become not just acquaintance, like friends. And
Yeah.
I believe that, I definitely believe that can happen. And especially when you're active and you're outside and
Yeah.
you're moving and you're doing something that you enjoy. So tell me about the women that show up. Like what's the stereotype? Who shows up and says, I want to golf.
Yeah. Well, the neatest thing, and being from the San Francisco Bay Area, I'm very into diversity. I think when we don't have it, it's boring. Okay.
absolutely. I
So,
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of groups out there that for golf and you have to be 35 and have hair extensions and wear a certain color. It's just very much the same type of person. With my group, we have people, I have a golfer who's 14 who I was giving golf lessons to. And I think my oldest golfer is probably my mom, 77. And we have all ages, nationalities, fitness levels, golf levels, personalities. We have everything.
Yeah.
And it is so we don't really have a stereotype. But the people who do come to me are recently moved. A lot of it is a relationship status. So it could be someone like you. You have a husband and you want to learn to play golf with your husband or be involved. Maybe someone doesn't have a husband and they want to find one. That is a big thing.
Listen,
Very
I've told
big
my
thing.
single friends to hit the golf course.
Heck yeah.
My husband has told my single
Yeah.
friends to do it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a big driver. Other people who have been married a really long time and they just kind of want some space to themselves. They want a hobby where their husbands can do something with guys, because it is good to have, not every second. Yeah.
Not every second. No.
So there's just a lot of reasons for them to be playing, and they just, I just get the coolest people, like good vibes. Seriously.
Good. So as we begin to wrap up, what moments or crystal clear moments that you are seeing for yourself, for your business, or even your podcast,
right?
That you're anticipating as we start to enter? We're in a new year here.
Yes.
So what are you seeing for yourself that's you're going to manifest this crystal clear moment?
Well, number one, I know that I'm on the right path. Like it's
Amen,
crystal clear that I am doing what I was born to do.
Amen, girl.
Yeah. I quit my corporate job, August of 23. And it was very clear from me from then on that I'm on the right path. So
Awesome.
I know it's incredible to be doing what you know you're supposed to be doing and to just love it. So for me, I don't completely know, but what I'm very good at is seeing where things are shifting and to be able to move. This coming year, I'm doing 3 golf retreats instead of 2. The ladies really love golf retreats. And it does give me time where, let's say you are coming on our golf retreat. We are going to spend 4 days together and we're going to play cards at night. We're going to have some wine at night. We're going to take a bike ride around Coronado Island, and we will have a different relationship by the end that we'll be family. That's pretty much what happens.
That sounds like my
amazing.
name is all over that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. So I'm going to do 3 of those. I'm having a very large golf tournament in April, the beginning of April. And this tournament I'm very proud to bring, because normally a woman to be able to play in a 3-day event has to be invited by a country club member. And then you have to have a handicap, which takes you time to get. And it's really not in reach for people, just the average newer player. Right. So I thought, these ladies need like a member guest, fun 3-day event. And so I'm bringing it to them. You don't have to have a handicap. You don't even need to have a partner. And it's going to be 3 days. And it's going to be amazing. So I'm very, very proud of that.
Good
bringing
for you.
that.
Look
and
at
so
that.
I'm just taking it, And if that's really in demand, then we'll just do more. And the podcast, just more of what we're doing, and just really being insightful on what people are asking and what they want.
Right. It's almost like you have to stay awake. You have to stay in tune to what's going on. And like you said, to your business, you may not know, you're going to add retreats, you're going to do a tournament, but you got to be nimble enough to know, okay, I need to shift.
Yeah.
I need to move my plan a little bit. I need to tweak it. You got to be open to that.
Yeah.
You can't just be so rigid into your plan.
And see opportunities. I just started a venture with my friend, my esthetician, Michelle Campbell. And it was actually my birthday a year and a half ago. And I said, Michelle, you know what? There is no skincare line for lady golfers, and we should do something really fun where ladies feel like extra cute, something with like shimmer.
Yeah.
And so
glistening. Yeah.
So we started Birdie Glow, and it is the first skincare line for lady golfers in the world. And we launched that, and it's been on the market for about a month.
Yay.
And so I'm really excited for Birdie Glow. We have like 4 products, and it's just really fun to do something different. And
how do we find Birdie Glow?
So you can find it online on the web. Our website is birdieglow.com, and our story is on there, Michelle and I. And she's a skin guru. I'm a golf guru, and we're both marketers, and we just love
good marriage.
Yeah, she's she's a great person. So. It's those kind of things that just keeping your eyes open, that you can see like, what do people want? And, what could we do to keep things exciting? Because I get bored. I kind of see you being like
entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs, I think we get bored easily.
Yes.
Like we have to keep like moving. We like that press. Yeah. Definitely. So before we wrap up.
Okay.
I like to ask all my guests for their word of the year. Do you have a word of the year?
Oh my gosh.
So I'll share mine.
Okay.
And every now and then, sometimes it shifts and changes, but right now what's coming up for me is resilience. That's what's coming up for me. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's been coming up for me for a little bit. So do you have a word that's coming up for you?
That's a great way to wrap up. Yeah. Gosh, I would just say confidence, to just be confident in my ability, because I think, again, as women, we can have moments where, we think, oh, I need to know more, or I need to do this. And just to be confident that I am trained in what I do. And even with the Birdie Glow I'm doing with Michelle, it's like we're really confident that we're bringing something great. And I think if you are confident, it brings good energy.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. And not an arrogance, but just like confident. I can do this.
Yeah. And there is a crystal clear difference between the two.
Yeah.
And it's interesting you said not arrogance, because in our American culture, whenever we display confidence, and if it's more than someone or makes someone uncomfortable, they will immediately label it arrogance.
Especially as a woman.
Yeah. So we have to be crystal clear what confidence is and what arrogance is, and know when you want to strut your confidence, how it shows up.
Yeah.
And it's okay to sit all the way in it. You help women grow confidence in what you do.
Yeah.
So thank you for that,
Of
because
course,
we
I
have
love
to take care of each other.
Yeah, we do.
You
Support
know,
each other, love
we
each
have
other.
to. And if we use all of our gifts and we direct just a portion of it to other women, then we can grow and we can become more confident and we can live our purpose. I believe everyone on this planet has a purpose.
Yeah.
And I just did not want to leave this earth without leaning in mine. So it looks like you're in the same space.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you,
grateful.
Donna.
Thank you, Crystal.
Yeah,
I really
wonderful.
appreciate you having me on.
You bet. Thank you. This has been wonderful. And I'm going to have my husband listen to this. He's going to be like, you need to call Donna, Crystal, because he definitely wants me to play. It's just I haven't. I need to just settle down. But I love how you've packaged it. It feels like it's going to be an easy transition. I don't have to go
you'll feel comfortable.
Yeah, go to golf lessons.
Yeah, you said you're an empty nester. This is the perfect time for you to do this.
We have this time, and right now he's on the course, so it's kind of not fair. I need to be out there with him, enjoying this beautiful weather.
Yeah.
All right, good deal. Well, thank you, Donna.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
Crystal.
Thank everyone for popping in and joining Crystal Clear Moments. Talk soon.